Is ending a marriage always wrong? Is divorce a betrayal of spiritual values? Or could it sometimes be the most honest, compassionate decision you ever make? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to talk about a topic many avoid but millions wrestle with in silence: a divorce. We'll explore what Buddhism really says about relationships, breakups, and whether ending a marriage is inherently sinful or spiritually misguided. If you've ever felt guilty for walking away from a marriage, if you've stayed in a painful relationship for the sake of appearances, or if you're wondering whether your spiritual path allows for freedom from a broken bond, this video might offer you clarity, relief, and most importantly, peace. Let's begin with one liberating truth from Buddhist teachings. Buddhism does not deal in sin, it deals in causes and effects. It doesn't ask, is this right or wrong? It asks, what will this lead to? What are the intentions behind your actions? What are the consequences? And how do those actions align with wisdom and compassion? This is where we begin to understand merit not as a prison sentence, not as a badge of success, but as a karmic connection, a path, a classroom for the soul. The Buddha taught that all relationships arise due to karmic affinity. You meet someone because there's unfinished business, is some bond of love, pain, growth, or teaching from a past life. But karma doesn't guarantee permanence. It offers opportunity. The opportunity to grow, to transform, to heal, not to control, fix, or possess. So when two people come together in marriage, it's not just about love or legal agreements. It's a spiritual collaboration. But if that collaboration begins to cause more harm than growth, if the bond becomes toxic, destructive, or stagnant, Buddhism doesn't say stay at all costs. It says, look deeply, examine, is your attachment leading to suffering? Staying in a marriage out of fear, guilt, or cultural pressure is not compassion, it is bondage. And Buddhism is, above all, the path of liberation. Now, let's look at the Buddha's guidance on the 5 precepts, especially the third one, to refrain from sexual misconduct. Any misinterpret this to mean strict monogamy or never leaving a spouse, but the deeper meaning is this: do not use your sexuality to harm, do not deceive, do not manipulate, do not break trust for selfish pleasure. So ask yourself, and not just should I stay or go, but am I being honest? Am I being kind? Is my relationship rooted in truth and respect, or in fear and obligation? If divorce becomes necessary, it is not a failure, it is a transition. It is the recognition that the karmic lesson may be complete, and that both souls may need to walk new paths, separately, in order to continue growing. One of the most powerful Buddhist statements on this subject comes from Thich Nhat Hanh, who said, "You must love in such a way that the person you love feels free." If your relationship has become a cage for you or your partner, then it's no longer love, it's attachment. Buddhism doesn't reward attachment, it teaches release. Let's talk about suffering. So many people stay in unhappy marriages out of fear of judgment from society, family, religion. But what good is staying if your heart is dead, if your home is filled with silent pain? If your children grow up learning that love means endurance without joy? The Buddha's first noble truth is this: life contains suffering. But the second truth is just as important: there's a cost to suffering and a way out. Divorce, when entered with mindfulness and compassion, can be a doorway not into disgrace, but into renewal. Now, this doesn't mean divorce should be taken lightly. Ending a karmic bond is serious. It requires honesty, reflection, and responsibility. You must ask, am I running away or am I moving forward? Am I avoiding discomfort or am I making space for truth? And once the decision is made, Buddhism invites you to practice the art of letting go, not with bitterness, but with grace, not with resentment, but with gratitude for what was. Relationship that ends is not a waste, it's a completed cycle, finished chapter, closed door, so another may open. Let's also be honest. Sometimes divorce is the most compassionate act you can make for your children, because what they need more than a perfect-looking family is parents who model truth, kindness, and self-respect. When they see you choosing peace over pretense, you give them permission to do the same in their lives. There's a story from a Buddhist practitioner who had been in an emotionally abusive marriage for over a decade. She stayed because she believed enduring was noble, but inside, she was dying, her light dimming, her voice silenced. After years of silent meditation, one day during a retreat, she whispered to herself, "This is not love, this is fear." And in that moment, she cried, and not from sadness, but from awakening. She left the marriage, not in anger, but in clarity. And in the years that followed, she didn't become bitter. She became whole. That's the power of truth. That's the liberation the Buddha taught. Not freedom from responsibility, but freedom from illusion. So no, divorce is not a sin. It is not a shame. It is not a scar. It is a karmic door closing so that another may open. If approached with mindfulness, it becomes part of your path. What a deter. Remember, the Buddha left a palace, a wife, and a newborn son. What out of neglect, but out of an inner calling. His journey was not about running away, but waking up. If the bonds in your life are keeping you asleep, perhaps it's time to wake up too. Thank you for watching this video. If you've walked the path of divorce, or you're standing at that crossroads, we invite you to share your story below. Let's break the silence. Let's offer each other compassion, not judgment. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and support this channel as we continue to bring light to difficult but deeply human topics.